We interrupt this program for an important bulletin.
You've got mail.
All right, Don, we got a couple email questions here that we have to answer. If you have a question for us that you'd like us to answer here, just go ahead and send that to either one of us, richard.mcgowan@savannahnow.com or to donald.heath@savannahnow.com. Don, the first question says, guys, so far this season, tell us which player you think is the best player in the area and which is the most valuable to their team. Don, the boys, go.
Boy, the best player in the area. I would have to say, this is like straight off, I'll say Brandon Mobley has been, he's 6'9" and clogs up the middle for Groves and is a big presence for them.
But how do you pick him over their other fantastic players at Groves?
Yeah, that's very difficult. Dominique Elliott, 6'8". Keenan Reddy, actually, can I change that to Keenan Reddy? Keenan Reddy is
way to stick to your guns there, Dad.
That's right, I can be bought.
Send your checks to Donald Heath.
But Keenan Reddy's been tough on the boards. Brandon Mobley, those threesome right there really has made the difference in Groves being the team that they are right now.
And MVP, who's the most valuable player to their team?
MVP, I'm probably going to have to go with Liberty's Ryan Brown. He's a sharpshooter, a 6'4" guard, and he can do a lot of things, rebound, shoot from the outside. So they're 16-0 right now, and he's been a big reason why.
Mm-hmm. On the girls' side, I would have to go with Mariah Maternick from Bradwell Institute. Saw her last night, and I saw her last year as a sophomore. I said, man, I can't believe she's only a sophomore, and now this year as a junior, it's just more of the same. She has the ball in her hand. She knows what to do with it. She always makes the right decision. She's a pass first, shoot second, but when she does shoot, she can nail it. I mean, she's just
she's very heady. Yeah,
very heady. Just all around terrific basketball player. The most valuable player to her team, I think, is probably Sunny Kennedy at Calvary Day. Quick point guard. She does, like Mariah Maternick, does a very nice job distributing the ball. Calvary has some finishers, and Kelsey Ellis, another sophomore, Rachel Laguerre, is really coming along. But Sunny Kennedy is what drives that engine, and if Calvary is struggling like they were a week ago against Richmond Hill, they were trailing by about 15 in the third quarter. Sunny Kennedy, when she wants to, she can take the ball herself, score, and take over a game if she has to. So MVP, I think, is Sunny Kennedy for the Cavaliers. I think you have a question.
I do. It comes to me from...
Way to come prepared.
Hey, guys. Which teams do you consider the biggest surprise, and which team is the biggest disappointment?
You want to take that one first, or should I?
You take first.
Biggest surprise to me, like we mentioned before, Bryan County. Yes, Bryan County.
Bryan County.
Bryan County. 12-2. They won 12 straight games at one point. They lost their season opener, and they've lost their last game Tuesday to Calvary, but in between won 12 straight. And they didn't just win squeakers too. They've been pounding the competition for the most part. Bryan County last couple of years, you could count how many wins they've had on one hand. And all of a sudden they've burst on the scene for 12, and they're suddenly a player in that region. So in my mind, without a doubt, the surprise team is Richmond Hill. And if there's a disappointment, I can't say it's necessarily a shocking disappointment. I think we all saw it coming, but it's such a strange sight to see Country Day, so low in the standings. And it's not the girls' fault, and it's certainly not Dale Parker's fault. She's a tremendous coach. But when you lose as much talent as Country Day lost, obviously there's going to be some struggles, and it's just a strange sight to see Country Day, struggling for wins. But they're well coached, and I think by the end of the year they will have a lot of improvement.
Yeah, Dale's one of the best coaches in the
She's tremendous.
In the area, and I'll guarantee you're going to see an upset before the season's ended.
It very well might. It's a hard-working team. There's just not a whole ton of raw athletic talent there.
No go-to person for
exactly.
The Hornets there.
But what about the boys? Surprise and disappointment?
Surprise team, I think, is Jenkins. They only won one game last year, but they're already off to a 7-5 season, 3-2 in the region. And
no longer the team you can just sort of walk into the gym and beat.
No. They beat Beach right off the bat, and beat Benedictine twice. Benedictine's 11-4. So Jenkins Warriors have done a nice job rebounding from that 1-23 season last year.
And disappointing team?
Disappointing, Savannah High. Started off 0-6. That's not normal for a Tim Jordan team. But they're coming back, but they're still, again, it's a little bit like Country Day. It's a surprise to see them at 5-9 and 1-4 in the region right now.
All right, and that is it for the premiere edition, the season premiere of Holding Court with Rich and Don. Thanks so much for watching. Please be sure to check back here next week, Thursday, to savannahnow.com/prepcentral for another edition of Holding Court. Don, get it together, will you?
I will.
Thanks a lot for watching. I'm Rich McGowan. This is Don Heath. Thanks a lot.